best I can with it. The aortic valve is deep inside the heart between the left ventricle and the start of the aorta. It's protected deep within the chest, and a rib fracture won't directly reach or puncture the valve. And basically, to have both of these things that she had one contributing factor. Okay, and it says that these injuries usually don't happen in isolation. The same force may also break ribs and bruise the heart or injure the aorta itself. Meaning, whatever broke her ribs did the same injury to her aorta. Now, if someone has bilateral rib fractures, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are all fractured on both sides, front and back. This is the body diagram I did myself to give you an idea on what she had on her body and so on. So the overall picture is this, summing it up. All right, Stephen met my mom, lied about who he was, said he was law enforcement, FBI, whatever, all of this and that. They were together. He was very mean to her throughout the relationship. He had went to jail. He ended up meeting another woman. All right, now, my mother, on her autopsy, it says that she died of an accidental overdose of her medications. My mother knew exactly what medications she was supposed to have been taking. Stephen was controlling her medication because he convinced her she had a pill problem. Now, the oxymorphone that was in her system, absolutely not. My mother would never take that. She did not have a prescription for it. She hated that, anything strong like that. It scared her. But hospice workers do have access to it. So I think that should be looked into further. Okay, and then the fact that Stephen called my daughter 50 minutes go by between the time he says that he found her and her. Afterwards, I went to my mother's house to get my mother's things. He wouldn't let me in the house. The only person he would say could go into the house was my daughter, who was 19 at the time. Like I said, if you look back on the text messages, he was telling her, hurry, I'm scared. And my daughter, being 19, has to tell him to call 911, okay? Again, that doesn't make sense. The reason being is because, like I said, we already know now, he is a predator, okay? He is a wanted rapist. And his trial is about to start on that. He used my mother as a hideout, pretty much, running from the police. I think that my mom got close to that, and he didn't want her around no more. Summing it up, they tried to tell me that the Lucas CPR machine was what caused the broken ribs. Well, if 1, 2, and 3 were broken, the Lucas machine doesn't even go that far up. So there's the likelihood of her having those broken ribs is almost impossible, considering a broken rib can't reach to puncture that high up. Whatever caused her broken ribs also caused the leak in her aortic valve, which is likely from some type of an assault or something like that. I think that he'd done something to her and made her to where she was almost incoherent a little bit. Or maybe, they got into it when he come in from work. Now, what's important about this is that Crystal Beavis told me a whole different story. She said the night Stephen came in from work, that he told her, he come in and he yelled for my mom. He yelled the word T, because that's what he called her. When she did not answer, he yelled, T, you better quit playing with me. He walked in there and she was already dead. I think that what happened was they got into an altercation. Somehow something went bad. She died that night, and he panicked. He had to find a way to cover his tracks. He had to do something. But where he messed up was he told 2 completely different stories. The vehicles that were in my mother's name, he kept them. And somehow or another, he's got new titles for them. So I wanted that to happen because I want more against him I can get to put him away. And again, like I said, he said he was woken up at 5 a.m. from the bells on the square. Not possible. How did he know she had died? Why would he have turned on the bedroom light at 5 o'clock in the morning? And if he didn't turn it on, how could he tell in the dark? If my mother had died of natural causes, I could accept that. Absolutely, I would rather accept that. But unfortunately, everything points the opposite direction, and I can't accept it. My mother was all I had. She was my best friend in the whole world. And there's so many things I didn't get to do or say to her. So any help I can get is more, and forever I would be grateful because it has been hard. It's been the hardest thing I've ever went through in my life. She was a good person, y'all. And this was the last message that she ever left.